embody faith. I want you to embody the fact that I provide for you every day. I'm the one
Yeah.
that wake you up. I do all
Yeah.
of these things for you, but you can't see me. You can't
Mm.
see me, but you waking up every day and you don't even understand why you waking up every day.
Understand. You are a part of a bigger concept. Become that concept.
Bro, in 2 hours now I learned you can be more productive in 2-3 hours of focus than in 12 hours of you being all over the place.
And to let these people know that faith is really the ground, or I would say the foundation for what everyone must stand on in order to become or to assume what they want to be. So welcome back to another episode of Awaken Your Best with me. I am Terrence Feagin with my co-host Rasta White. And again, this podcast is all about helping you to become 1% better each and every day. We're here to give you tips and tricks to awaken your best, to do the best, and to become the person you really want to be. So in this episode, it's all about helping you to understand the power of awareness. And I was just talking to Rasta before we actually press record that I was in the gym this morning and I was listening to the audiobook, many different audiobooks. But the one in particular that I was listening to was The Power of Awareness. And we don't want to make this episode all about that book, but I just want to give you details about what we've read and experienced in our life to help us to bring more awareness to what we have. So if you're all about wanting to become better, this is the podcast you need to listen to. So go grab your popcorn, pause this, grab your popcorn, grab your milk, I don't know why I said milk. Go grab something that you want to drink that's going to really replenish you and make you relax, because this podcast is going to help you to explode another portion of your mind. Rasta, man, how you doing today? How's your day, bro?
Yes, sir. I'm doing excellent, man. Just blessed. You feel me? It's Friday. You know what I mean? I took care of all my schoolwork. Was just working on my YouTube channel right before we shot this podcast. Spent a lot of time with my wife and my daughter today, so things is looking good, man. What about you?
Man, blessed as usual, brother. Blessed, man. That's actually seen baby girl on Instagram. I'm like, dang, man, kids grow up fast, bro. Kids grow up fast, but
yeah, bro.
Dog, yeah, I mean, I'm good, man. You know, always blessed, highly favored. I really can't complain, man. Like you said, it's Friday. You know, bills is paid, wife is at work, kids downstairs out of my way, and I get to be creative with my brother, man. So it's always a good time, man. It's always a great opportunity to put these headphones on and speak in front of this mic, because we got a lot to talk about today. You know, we got a lot to help. You know, I think that our spiritual journeys have always been about unlocking another part of ourselves. And this podcast is helping you to unlock yourself now. And the topic today is really going to help to turn a key in your brain to unlock the door to another side of you. So, Rasta, man, I remember actually, I know we said we wasn't going to talk more about the book, but I kind of want to, you know, lead in that direction because that's where my mind is telling me to go. But I remember telling you about that book, bro. And I remember reading it like cover to cover. And I was like, yo, Rasta, bro, like, hey, this book right here is really going to help you to understand what life is really all about as far as manifestation, planning, reaching the goals that you want, and understanding how to attract the things in your life. So of course, we'll break it down in different details about, you know, some of the parts that we felt like were amazing that we could really talk to. But what part in the book really helps you to understand, like, yo, this is the book, or this topic is really going to help me to move forward in life? Can you recall that time?
Man, when I read it's like the second or third chapter, The Power of Assumption. You feel me? That chapter right there, it was real deep. Assuming who you want to be, assuming that feeling of already being that person that you want to be. And I remember I think I read that chapter twice because it was so in depth about, like, what does it really mean to assume who you are, right? Assume who you want to be. And it's really simple as, from what I took from it, is using your imagination, like using it and seeing yourself as that person, whether it's making 10K a month or whether it's weighing 200 pounds, all muscle. When you imagine yourself as that person, that good feeling you get when you see your bank account, when you see the scale, how does that feel? And the book really opened my mind to the fact that you really can create that feeling and feel it. Like people don't really know that. You really have that much control that if you use your imagination and you imagine it, you get that same exact feeling as in same feeling you gonna get when you succeed in it. So that, bro, that alone, like I ain't even read the whole book because I got enough from it from just reading a few chapters, but I'm gonna finish it later.
Yeah, nah, bro, you
But
right. That,
yeah, bro.
yeah, bro. Hey,
Assumption.
So assumption is probably one of the best parts of the book because honestly, when you think about it like this, it really that one chapter details the entire book because if you realize that you cannot be something that you don't first create in your mind, you would never be something that you haven't first seen or felt. How can that be? Like, how can you create something that you don't even know how it feels to be? Like, that's not how the world works, and that's not how creation works. Like, everything in this world, the computers that we're on, the microphone that I'm speaking in, the phones that we're recording on, like everything around us was first created in somebody's mind. They assumed what it would actually feel like. They would assume what it would actually be like to have that product, or if it was a partner that somebody wanted to be with, they assumed what all qualities they wanted in that partner, and they felt what it meant to be like and to have. So you have to have an assumption of what you want to be. So I actually got a few different quotes from the actual book that I want to kind of go into, and this one basically says that Therefore, to incarnate a newer, greater version of yourself, you must assume that you already are what you want to be and then live by faith in this assumption. So let's talk about faith for a minute, because a lot of times we lose faith in what we want in life because we might have tried to get something that we want or to be a person or to go places, but yet it may have not happened. But if we can kind of talk about faith and understand and let these people know that faith is really the ground, or I would say the foundation for what everyone must stand on in order to become or to assume what they want to be. So how has faith played in your life to become who you are right now?
Bro, that's a great question. And before I answer that, I want to say, when we talk about assumption, anybody out there who, I'm sure you had a job if you're listening to this, you ever seen somebody who was on the same level as you, but they worked as if they was already a supervisor?
Yeah.
Or they worked as if they was already the boss. They assume that position. And they'll be the people we normally don't like. We be like, who we think he is? He don't run this place. He ain't the supervisor. He running around his chest all out. But if you notice, them always be the people that be first in line for the promotion, right?
Yep, that's right.
Why? Because they assumed it and they believed it before they actually got into that position. The people who don't see it for themselves or ever assume that they will be that, most of the time never get it. So the segue to faith, I'm gonna say with faith, we was in the Navy together, and faith is, without it, it's that little voice in your head that tells you to give up. I can't do this. Faith is the power to push that voice out your head. The power to be like, nah, I'm not listening to this fear. I'm gonna be faithful in this position that I want to be in, and I'm gonna move towards it. Shaking, you know what I mean? Faith is what gets you through the nervousness. It's what gets you through what make you walk into the room with your head up like, yo, I got faith that I'm going to execute the way I want to execute. So for me, I could just use a little example. You remember when I was Sailor of the Year for supply, something like that.
Yeah.
It was a little reward that I got. I was like an E3 or whatever. But in order to get that reward, you had to go into the room, and it was kind of like a job interview in a way, where they ask you random questions. They want to test to see if you got the confidence you need to get that award.
Right.
So I remember before I walked in there, bro, I was like, man, I don't want to do this. I can't do this. I honestly was down with myself. I was. But I said, you know what? They nominated me for a reason. I want to make the next rank. I want to be promoted. So I got to have faith in myself that when I walk into this room, I'm going to make it count. And I can tell you, I walked in there with the right mindset, with faith, and I blew it out of the water. Walked out smiling.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, hey, Rasta, we're really impressed with what you did and blah, blah, blah. But if I didn't have that faith walking in there, I'm telling y'all,
man,
I would have fumbled up and they would have been like, get him out of here.
yeah. Hey, bro, I remember I was in that same scenario where I had an opportunity to do what you're doing and I fumbled. And I think it was, and I'm not even going to say think. It was really because I wasn't prepared. One, you were very prepared. I remember you studying, focused, like getting your dress whites all pressed out, like everything was good. Like you had the faith to know that you was going to get that. And a lot of times, like my example of faith is, you know, people need to build their faith off of not being able to see the next step. Like faith, you're not going to see the entire plan. With faith, you're not going to see the whole plan, but taking that first step and knowing that as you can continue to go, your confidence gets better. As you continue to move further, your strength gets more. Like you can endure what's not there. Like seeing the unseen is what faith is all about. And really, a lot of people, you know, we put different topics with faith, but the biggest thing is that you have to know who you are. Who are you? And I believe that the book actually talks about who you are, as in I am. Like a lot of people remember, you know, we're Bible believers, we're Christians, like we believe in what we believe as far as who God is. And if you know who God is, you know that you are a creation and a concept of who God is, and you are a part of that being. So if you're a part of that being, why have so little faith in who you want to be or what you want to become? You can do it as long as you truly understand who God is. And that's the part of the book that's really helping you to understand what faith is that you are a part of that. You are, or I am. So having the fact of I am and knowing that you are consciousness, you can be conscious and aware of who you want to become. And that's big, but it's something that people have to realize. You are a part of a bigger concept. Become that concept.
Yeah, bro. I love that you say that faith is seeing the unseen, believing in the unseen. And that goes perfect with, that correlates with religion. That's why God, I believe God created us, and people be like, well, I can't see him. I believe that's why it is that way. Cause he like, I want you to embody faith. I want you to embody the fact that I provide for you every day. I'm the one that wake you up. I do all of these things for you, but you can't see me. You can't see me, but you waking up every day and you don't even understand why you waking up every day. Yo, real quick, it's Rasta White. If you're getting value from this podcast and you're enjoying it, please hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. We will greatly appreciate it. Come be a part of our community, the Awaken Your Best Podcast, where we teach you how to awaken your best. All right? I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. Let's get back to it.
Yeah.
So it gotta be something behind that. It's like, you got faith that you're gonna wake up tomorrow. Somebody's gonna wake you up. You ain't just about to.
You got faith that oxygen in the air is there. Yeah. You got faith that oxygen is there and is there. When you walk through that door in your house, you know what's on the other side, right? Like, but before you got there, you didn't know that. Like picture you walking into a new building you've never been. You know, on the other side of that is going to be something which you realize that should be there. That's faith. You have to build that faith over time, man. And that's a great example, bro. Like, man, it's just a lot of life that people need to realize. You were going to say something? Go ahead.
Oh, well, I also like that faith in the unseen, bro. That's so amazing, because like you said, it's like taking that step that you don't see is there. And it's hard, bro. We're not saying it's easy. It's so hard to have your eyes closed and like, I gotta take this imaginary step in this direction where I want to go. You feel me? But faith is the only thing that's gonna push you through it, man. Like,
right, 100%, bro.
And the more you practice faith, the more you get. The more you practice it, the more you get more comfortable with it, and you be less scared, and you just start walking fearlessly.
Yeah. You know, the one thing that I understand of how to build your faith is, one, to understand what you want. Understand what you want. Yeah, it's great to have a religion. It's great to know a God, but you know, God wants you to have things. Like, God can't be fulfilled in somebody who is lesser than who they imagine themselves to be. You have to see yourself as being more. Like, when a light shines in a light bulb, it can only shine as much as the wattage that's in that light bulb. So God can only provide as much light as you're willing to provide for yourself. But as you start to build knowledge, start to walk on your faith, start to build your confidence, you start to illuminate more. You start to have confidence on your face. So now God can put more in your life. He can put more trials to build you up. He can put more trials and more people to come around you to build your knowledge, to fulfill more of what God is. Like, that's what people got to realize, that we are all, again, I'm going back to this, but we are all a part of that higher power, whether you want to believe it or not. But the only way that God can really extend himself in the world is to build each and every single one of us. The more you limit and dim your light, the less you are exuding what God is. But as you continue to create, you're expanding on who God is. And bro, really understanding that your desires are from a higher purpose, a higher being. Like, what you see for yourself as a desire is created in your mind by the higher concept of yourself. So go after that concept. Take the faith to walk towards what you want.
I agree 100%, bro. When it comes to faith, and it's also what I'm learning, you know, we have the scarcity mindset. I think that's one thing that makes it so hard to be faithful, because but when you think about the higher power, bro, God made the earth. It's above our understanding, bro. Like, it's abundant. Creation is abundant. Like, that's why even science kind of backs up religion in a way. It's like space is infinite. They say they believe space is infinite. Billions of galaxies. You know how big that is compared to our little bitty Earth, bro? Like, I look at that analogy and it's like, you got to learn to develop an abundance mindset. And trust me, I grew up in poverty, so that makes it even harder to have that mindset. But when you have faith, it's like, for example, I don't want to eat when you got a little bit of food left, you trying to save every little bit of it, or you eat most of your food, you full, but you trying to stuff it down because you don't want to waste it. Start just reminding yourself, man. You feel me? Start reminding yourself it's an abundant world. I will get more food. I will get more stuff. It will be replaced, because it's unlimited, bro. That's what I'm learning. Like, faith is it start there. That's where the foundation is, and then you build all the pieces on top of that.
100%. 100%, man. Going back, I'm piggybacking off of what you said, but it's really the growth mindset and a fixed mindset. A lot of times how we grow up in the system that we've been built into and designed into, they give us a fixed mindset, to where the people who break out of that fixed mindset, they see the abundance, or they get out of their hometown and they see the growth potential, and they continue to boss up and move further on. But the people who remain fixed, they never really go anywhere. People who have a fixed mindset, they typically talk to themselves or people around them like, the boss is doing this, I don't like my job because this, or the supervisor is this, or I can't do that because of the environment that I grew up in, or I will never have such thing because I've never seen anybody else have it. But people like you and me, we've always been, well, I know I've always been the type to always say, I can have that. Oh, how much is that? Oh, that's nothing. I'm going to get it eventually. Or I've never been one to really step away from things that I may feel like I cannot do. Like, I always change my language around to say I can do, or I will have, or I'm already in possession of that. It's just a matter of time until it comes. Like that, like, when you eliminate that mindset out of your mind, you will see that the world is endless and the abundance is here for each and every single one of us. You just got to change your mindset up and go get it, man. And that's why I love doing this podcast, because as we continue to grow in our development of what we want, we can reach an abundance of people. We're on a platform, YouTube and Apple, podcast where it stretches out. Anybody at any time can listen to the words that we're saying. And that's what it's all about, getting that message out there, bro. So, I wanted to, kind of move along in this podcast and kind of really talk about some of the different techniques that you can start to do if you are someone with the growth mindset, and you may just be stuck and not being able to really advance. So, the first thing I always tell people is that, like, what do you desire? So really plan out what you want. And I kind of want to talk to you about, like, what have you done in your past that has led you up to where you are, as far as creating goals or strategies or tips that you've used to kind of manifest the life that you live right now?
Man, like you say, starting off with desire, right?
Yeah.
Knowing what you desire, like he said, you got to know what you want. And I desire to live a lifestyle where money is not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's deep in there. Like, that is something that's so deep. Like, that's why we talk about abundance. I don't like the mindset of having to worry about, looking at prices when I go to the grocery store. I don't like having to trying to save every nickel and dime. I don't like that. So I desire, and there's even times where I live that way, even when I don't have it. I still might just be like, you know what, just get, I even tell my wife, just get what you want. Like, we was in the grocery store today, she like, am I overdoing it? We was at Sam's Club and filling up the cart. And she like, is we overdoing it? And I love her for that. She keep us from overdoing it. But I'm like, you know what, baby, let's not worry about it. Let's have a trusting mindset, faith that we not wasting nothing. Let's just spend our money and get our food and move on. So exactly. So those experiences and those times when I think about that leads to everything else. So what does that lead to? Reading financial books, self-help financial books. How can I get better financially? How can I get my mindset to where how can I fix my mindset to where I don't have a scarcity mindset no more? What do I need to look at? What do I need to study? And then setting goals, okay, well, I make $3,000 a month, blah, blah, blah. How do I get to make $5,000 a month? How do I get to make $10,000 a month? So that's where it all started for me,
Amazing, bro. I remember something you told me a while back, man. You was like, I remember telling you, like, kind of like what Maya was saying, my Rasta wife. I remember I was telling you, like, bro, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Like, I want to be able to, really move forward. And you was like, you may be doing too much. Like, focus just on one simple item and, like, really take that item and, then once you get rolling on it, 10x it, get better at that one thing. So a lot of people may be juggling different activities, whatever it is, like hobbies or money-making activities,
aspirations.
A lot of those different things. But if you simplify it and focus on one or two things, and even one thing, and then that thing can branch into other things, like, that's what Rasta really taught me. And that's why, we focused on YouTube and building that up. But that's one strategy that I would really say, like, if you're out there and you're juggling multiple different business ideas, focus on one that you truly, really love. And that one that you truly, really love, take that to the next level. But the next thing that I would really say is this: you have to focus on what you want. And focusing on what you want is going to take creativity. You have to be creative in what you want. As we said in the book, like, creation is already done. It's more about using another level of creation, which is creating or being creative in the mind or the ideas of what you want to have. So being involved with, I would say, developing or researching of the area that you want to be in is really going to help you to take it to the next level. So being creative and then really sticking in that one idea can eventually boost it and take time, to be able to move it forward. So that's some of the different tips that I would say. What you think about that?
Absolutely, bro. And you said before, like, as far as faith go, you said you wasn't prepared in in that example earlier. Preparation is a big one. Like, reading books, taking courses, learning, preparing. That makes it where it's a lot easier to have faith, because it's like, well, I'm about to take this step towards this dream goal or whatever that I'm scared to go do. But man, I done read 10 books. I done I done did 5 things that I know I needed to do to get to this point.
Yeah.
So that strengthens your faith. Like that really helps. Because faith is not easy at all. And when you unprepared, it's really like you just got your fingers crossed, and you don't really want to be in those situations, because faith without works is dead,
100%. Faith without works is 100% dead. You can't move forward, man. And I think just with the faith, but it's really like putting that attention towards what you want. Like, you're limited by your lack of attention in any area. So another thing I remember you telling me, man, like, we feed off of each other, iron sharpens irons. But I remember you telling me, like,
yes, sir,
you really turned off notifications when it comes to different things that may distract you in life, like where it be your phone or different different apps that are on your phone. And I took that as advice, and I eliminated a lot of different apps that I have. So really having detailed, focused attention, especially on what you want, is going to fulfill your desires and fulfill the nurturing and the fact of wanting what you want. So focus your attention. Don't let multiple different areas, like I said, pull you and stretch you and limit you. But if you focus that attention, there's no way you can't lose if you focus.
Bro, that's a whole nother podcast, bro. Like, that notification thing is powerful. Like, even that's crazy you mentioned that, because I don't even remember when I did mention that to you. It probably was a year ago or whatever.
Yeah.
But
wow.
Bro, even last week, I literally got to a point where I said, you know what, I need to get tighter on it. So I like my Apple Watch. I made it where my Apple Watch don't send me notifications no more, because literally when you in a flow and when you focus and then you get a notification and then your watch stop you, you literally just cut off the, we can go deep with the whole infinite intelligence and whatever creative flow you was in, it just got cut. So now you got to start all the way over again. All because of, it may sound small, like, my wife, I be messing with, like, baby, just don't interrupt me while I am working. Let me focus for those. Just give me 2-3 hours straight. No interruptions. Just let me focus. So when I do, bro, in 2 hours.
If you believe. So you still here? And you haven't liked this yet? Or you haven't subscribed? Man, shame on you. Make sure you go down and like this video. We putting in this work and we giving y'all this information. Let us know that you enjoy it. Let us know that you really feeling it. Comment, subscribe to this channel, like the video, tell your mama that it's on here so she can watch it, like and subscribe too, all right? So we appreciate y'all. Keep watching the video.
Always have faith. Bro, in 2 hours now, I learned you can be more productive in 2-3 hours of focus than in 12 hours of you being all over the place. So
100%,
I appreciate you bringing that up, bro, because that's deep.
Man, it is deep and it's important, but I just wish I had a notification limiter on these damn kids.
bro,
you all the time.
That's the thing I'm going through, bro. I'm going through it, bro. I'm like, my wife, she laughed at me because, that's the one thing I don't like, is being interrupted. I'm like, man, just let me go lock myself in I'll be going to the library, you feel me? So I can have in the library, nobody mess with you. They let you do your thing and you just, you know what I mean?
100%, man. 100%. I think the next time we probably talk, I think we should probably do a podcast on faith, because I just thought about something that it really impacted me when I first read this.
Faith or focus?
Faith and focus. We do podcasts on either one of those,
cool.
but I think it's a quote, and it basically says, like, faith does not question, like, faith knows. And I wish I would have said that earlier, because it would have been better at that point. But like, faith doesn't question. You don't question, like, when you open your car door and when you get in there to drive, like, unless you got a raggedy car or whatever. But or like when you wake up in the morning, your faith wasn't questioned. Like, you just woke up, unless you're ill or you're sick. But you just have to know that what you want to become is really based off of who you assume yourself to be. And it's really like all of what we're saying is bringing awareness to you. As all this awareness comes, to you at this one instant within this podcast that you actually need to listen to every single week because we drop weekly. We're building your consciousness up of who you are and who you should become. So it's building the awareness around what you want, who you are, how you get it, and fulfilling that overall desire, man. And I know that I am able to become exactly who I want to be. And the way that I do that is because, one, I set a lot of examples around myself. Like here on my board, I have multiple different affirmations that I have in front of myself. And I've done that over the years, and I've accomplished a lot, and I haven't accomplished some of them. And I look back at the ones that I didn't accomplish because, one, I know that it's a period of time to get what I want, and it's not on my time. It's on me fulfilling who I assume myself to be, and that just takes time. Like, the biggest thing that I have on my board is me becoming a multimillionaire, and that takes time and fulfillment. It takes time to be able to really, come into an understanding of what I want to be, and it takes time to build a multi-million-dollar business, and it just is all really about building my awareness of how to become that person. And for anybody that's listening to this podcast, just stay down in the progress, stay down in your focus, your attention, your faith, and everything will come to you in an appointed time. But it just takes time for that to grow. And I know we've seen that over this time, man. Like Rasta, like think back to like when we first got out the military, bro. 3-4 years ago now, and like the point that we've come from when we got out to where we are now, like I wouldn't even imagine us being on a podcast and talking, about the different topics that we're talking about. But it's just growth, and I can continue to see the growth because I assume the person I want to be.
Bro, absolutely. Like you said, it's all about awakening your best. So all of this, like you said, ties into that best version of yourself that you need to assume yourself to be, and that you need to have faith that you can become, because we're developing ourselves more and more to those people that we want to be. Terrence want to be a multimillionaire. I definitely want to be a multimillionaire too, because like I said, I don't want money to be an issue, and being a multimillionaire is pretty much the cure for that, right? So yeah, bro, it's all about us figuring things out. And like he also said, this is a whole nother podcast, but focusing on one thing is very, very pivotal, because you can't build 10 businesses at once. It's just, it's not going to happen. You could build one, you could build 10 great businesses, but you might need to build them one at a time. You can do 100%. It, right? We are limitless. We can do everything, but our attention is just, learning to focus. And I'm learning that too, y'all. My dad is not a wealthy man, really, but he's doing okay for himself. But he has so much potential to be. He could be a billionaire right now, but he never focused. He always did a lot of things. You know what I mean? He got 5 businesses right now. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Bro, I'm laughing.
For real, like,
I was just laughing because I always remember those stories that you tell me about your dad. Bro. Yeah, just funny dude, man.
Amazing guy, bro. My dad is amazing. Yeah. He's an amazing, smart guy, bro. Blessed to have him as my father, and I learned a lot from him. I was talking to him last night, and that's what I learned, bro. Like, just the power of focus. You got to do. He even told me that. He told me, look, he said, Rasta, if you ain't gonna be organized, you're not gonna be successful. If you're not gonna focus and be organized, it ain't happening.
You gotta say it in the voice, bro. You gotta do the whole impersonation. Do the impersonation, bro.
He said, Rasta, you ain't gonna be successful if you all over the place. It just ain't gonna happen, man.
Facts, man. Yeah, 100%, bro.
Yeah,
100%.
Bro. Focus is key. We got a lot. We hit a lot of topics. We're gonna definitely do some more videos on the other topics that we touched on, because it's a lot, bro. But it's all about awakening your best, man. Listen to this, digest it, comment, let us know how you feel, and go from there, man.
Yeah. Yo, make sure y'all subscribe to Rasta White on YouTube. Make sure y'all subscribe to this channel as well. And make sure that y'all are listening and downloading this on Apple Podcasts, because we giving y'all what we desire. We just want to make sure that y'all awakening your best as well. So Rasta, man, it's always a pleasure talking to you, brother.
Likewise, brother. Likewise.
All right, man. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. We out.